Hello guys, I'm Super Infinity Characters here, and it's gonna be like all about Delaware. Alright, so first I'm gonna start off with some neighborhoods in Wilmington, Delaware that I dislike and that I would not prefer to live in. It says neighborhoods that are within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware, also known as neighborhoods in Wilmington, Delaware I don't like and I would not prefer to live in. All right, so here are some neighborhoods that are low. All right, so all of these neighborhoods right here are some neighborhoods that are located within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware that I don't like and that I would not prefer to live in. All right, so I don't like Brandywine Village. I don't like Baynard Village. I don't like Northwest Wilmington or Triangle neighborhood. I don't like Midtown Brandywine. I don't like Quaker Hill. I don't like Compton Village. I don't like Eastside. I don't like I wouldn't prefer to live in any of these neighborhoods. Yeah, I wouldn't prefer to live in any of these neighborhoods. But anyway, I wouldn't prefer to live in I don't like Hilltop. I don't like the Flats. I don't like Little Italy. I don't like Trolley Square. I don't like 40 Acres. I don't like Cold Spring. I don't like Trinity Vicinity. I don't like South Bridge. I don't like Hedgeville. I don't like Browntown. I don't like Alban Park. I don't like the Riverfront. And I don't like Union Park Gardens. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't really like living within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware at all. I wouldn't prefer, I would not prefer to live in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware at all, but not all people can live where they want to live, and some people can only live where they could afford to live. Yeah, but when I grow up, I'm going to be able to live where I want to live, which is the suburbs. And I'm going to be really successful, but I just got to do what I need to do, and I need to do what I'm supposed to do, and I need to do a good job in school and listen and complete my work, be respectful, make good choices, follow directions, and I can't need too much reminders in school. That way, I want to, I'm so sorry about that. But anyways, I'm going to try my best to make Student of the Month for February because January, I don't think I was really being a serious student. So, and I wasn't making good choices. But in February, I'm going to try to make good choices. I'm going to try to complete my work. And I'm going to try to be respectful. And I'm going to try to be a serious student. And I'm going to try to follow directions. And I'm going to try not to need too much reminders, which means I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do without being reminded or without being prompted. Yeah, when I'm in school, I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do without being reminded or without being prompted. Yeah, I should always do that. Yeah, I gotta make good choices. That's what I gotta do. Alright, so, alright. $57. So there are 10 cities in Delaware, and there are 44 towns in Delaware, and there are 3 villages in Delaware. Alright, so the cities are Wilmington, Dover, Newark, Newcastle, Milford. I guess that's not all of them. Let's see if they have all of them right here. Alright, the villages are Arden, Ardencroft, and Ardentown. The towns, The smallest town in Delaware is Hartley and Middletown. Middletown's not even small at all. It's crowded, I guess. Yeah, Brandywine Village, Baynard Village, Northwest Wilmington, Triangle Square, Midtown Brandywine, Quaker Hill, Compton Village, Eastside, Hilltop, The Flats, Little Italy, Trolley Square, 40 Acres, Cool Spring, Trinity Vicinity, South Bridge, Hedgeville, Browntown, Alban Park, Riverfront, and Union Park Gardens. The Every single one of these neighborhoods that I'm naming that are on this paper, these are some neighborhoods that are located within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware, that I don't like and that I would not prefer to live in. Yeah. Um yeah, so all about Delaware. There are 10 cities in Delaware, there are 44 towns in Delaware, and there are 3 villages in Delaware. All right, so 302 is the area code for Delaware. Yeah, 302 is the area code for Delaware. So, yeah. Some states have more than one area codes, but Delaware only has one. I mean, Delaware is not the only state that only has one area code. Yeah, some states in the US have only one area code. Yeah, all right. A nomad state refers to the 5 states in the US that don't have a statewide sales tax. So that includes New Hampshire, Oregon, Montana, Alaska, and Delaware. All right, so Delaware is a state that does not have a statewide sales tax. Yeah, Delaware is one of the nomad states. Yeah. Delaware does not have a statewide sales tax, but there are 45 states in the US that do have statewide sales taxes. Yeah. There are 45 states in the US that have a statewide sales tax. And there are 5 states in US that don't have a statewide sales tax: New Hampshire, Oregon, Montana, Alaska, and Delaware. Delaware does not have a statewide sales tax. All right. Now, Delaware is known as the first state for being the first to ratify the U.S. Constitution on December 7th, 1787. It is a small, densely populated mid-Atlantic state located on the Delmarva Peninsula. It is, oh, sorry if I said this order incorrectly, but anyway, it features a capital in Dover, a major economic hub in Wilmington, and Wilmington, and is famous for having no sales tax. Yeah, just told you guys that. Key facts about Delaware. Location: bordered by Pennsylvania north, New Jersey, Atlantic Ocean east, and Maryland southwest. Geography: the second smallest state, approx. A 1,949 square miles. It is largely a flat coastal plain with the lowest average elevation in the U.S. Capital: Dover. Largest city: Wilmington. Counties: Newcastle, Kent, and Sussex, the fewest in any state. Nickname: the first state or the Diamond State. Population: approx. 1 million with high density in the north. Economy and culture. Corporate haven. Delaware is a top jurisdiction. Sorry if I said this word incorrectly, but anyway, for business incorporation in the U.S. All right. Tax-free shopping. As one of 5 states without a sales tax, it is a major shopping destination. Industry. Historically, agricultural, I think, in the South, with chemicals, and pharmaceuticals. I think that's how you spell it. Pharmaceuticals in the north. State symbols: blue, hen, chicken, bird, peach, blossom, flower, American holly, tree. Sport: bicycling. Bicycling is the official state sport. History and geography. Settlement: settled by Dutch, Swedish, and English colonists in the 17th century. It was originally part of the Penn Colony, Pennsylvania, before gaining independence. Regional identity. Regional identity. Identity. While part of the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, Southern Delaware has strong cultural ties to the North. Wildlife, home to the Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge. I think refuge. And the world's largest population of horseshoe. I think horseshoe crabs in Delaware Bay. Interesting facts: Delaware has more shoreline than U.S., Virgin Islands, and Guam combined. It is known for the DuPont family's immense influence on its industry and culture. The state has a small wonder nickname due to its size and diverse offerings. Delaware, famously known as the first state, may be the second smallest U.S. state by area, but it holds outsized significance in American history, corporate law, and Atlantic coastal culture, core identity, and geography. The first state. Delaware earned this nickname by being the first state of the original 13 colonies to ratify the U.S. Constitution on December 7th, 1787. Size and population. It is the second smallest state, approx. 2,489 square miles, and the sixth most densely populated. Three counties. It has the fewest counties of any state. Newcastle, urban northern, Kent, central capital, and Sussex, coastal southern. Topography. It has the lowest mean elevation of any state, with most of its land sitting on a level coastal plain. Major cities. Dover is the capital, while Wilmington is the largest city and commercial hub. Economic powerhouse. Corporate capital. Over 60% of Fortune 500 companies are incorporated in Delaware due to its business-friendly laws and the specialized Delaware Court of Chancery. Chemical industry. Long known as the chemical capital of the world, it is the headquarters for giants like DuPont and AstraZeneca, I think. Yeah, AstraZeneca. Tax-free shopping. Delaware is one of only 5 states with no sales tax, making it a major shopping destination for the Northeast. Oh no, my friend William's calling me, but he's gonna have to wait because I'm trying to make a YouTube video right now. But anyway, our agriculture. Poultry. I think it's poultry. Fowl. I mean, the reason why I think this is pal is because fowl is spelled Foul. So the reason why I think this is poultry is I'm thinking about the word fowl. Yeah, so I think it's poultry. All right. Poultry is the state's leading agricultural product. Sussex County is one of the top broiler producing counties in the U.S. History and culture. Early settlement. First inhabited by the Lenape and Nanticoke tribes. The region saw 17th century settlements by the Dutch, Swedes, and English. Civil War. A border state that remained in the Union but was a slave until the 13th Amendment. It was a critical stop on the Underground Railroad. The nation's summer capital, Rehoboth Beach, is a premier Atlantic resort destination famously frequented by presidents and D.C. residents. Horseshoe crabs. The Delaware Bay hosts the world's largest population of horseshoe crabs. Anson? I think it's Anson. I can't remember how to pronounce this. Anson. I hope this isn't an easy word. Anson. I think it's Anson. Let me know in the comments how to pronounce this. Ancient creatures that predate dinosaurs. State symbols: bird, blue hen chicken, flower, peach blossom, tree, American holly, dessert, peach pie, motto, liberty and independence. Would you like to explore the tax benefits of incorporating a business in Delaware, or are you looking for travel recommendations for the southern beaches? I don't know. Things about Delaware you can learn in social studies class. Alright, Delaware, known as the first state, is central to American history studies for being the first to ratify the U.S. Constitution on December 7th, 1787. Social studies classes often highlight its role as one of the 13 colonies. Its three-county structure and its reputation as a major corporate hub with no sales tax. Key topics regarding Delaware and social studies include history and government. Delaware was founded by Swedish settlers, New Sweden Company, in 1638. Before falling under British rule, it was initially part of Pennsylvania as three lower counties. The first state. On December 7th, 1787, Delaware was the first of the original 13 colonies to ratify the U.S. Constitution. Geography. Oh, I think it's true. Geography. It is the second smallest state, located in the mid-Atlantic region within the Delmarva Peninsula. The capital is Dover, and the largest city is Wilmington. Economics. Known as the Diamond State, it is famous for having no sales tax. It is also a key location for major corporations with over half of NYSE listed companies having headquarters there. Symbols and culture. The state bird is the blue hen chicken. The state flag features a colonial blue background with a buff colored diamond containing the state's seal. Native American history. The state officially recognizes the Lenape Indian tribe and the Nanticoke Indian tribe. Key notable figures associated with Delaware include former U.S. President Joe Biden. Okay. Let's see what we got in AI mode. In a Delaware social studies class, you can dive into the rich history and unique political status of the first state. The curriculum guided by the state by the Delaware Department of Education and Social Studies standards covers the state's journey from indigenous lands to a corporate and industrial hub. I'm gonna try not to misspell anything. I'm gonna try not to make any mistakes this round. Well, I guess it'll be okay because everybody makes mistakes. But anyway, key topics typically explored include foundation. As the first state, Delaware earned this nickname by being the first of the original 13 states to ratify the U.S. Constitution on December 7th, 1787. Caesar Rodney's Midnight Ride. A famous lesson details how delegate Caesar Rodney rode 17 miles on horseback through a thunderstorm to Philadelphia to cast Delaware's tie-breaking vote for the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Colonial shuffling. You can learn how Delaware was originally part of Pennsylvania, known as the Three Lower Counties, before gaining its own assembly in 1704 and declaring complete independence in 1776. The DuPont legacy. Social studies classes often examine the impact of the DuPont Company, which transformed Wilmington into the chemical capital of the world and influenced the state's economy for over 2 centuries. Unique geography and boundaries. Students study the 12-mile circle and unusual arc-shaped border with Pennsylvania, and the state's position on the Delmarva Peninsula. Civil rights crossroads. Delaware was a border state during the Civil War, remaining in the Union while still permitting slavery. The curriculum covers the state's role in the Underground Railroad and its involvement in the landmark Brown v. Board of Education case via the local Gebhardt v. Belton ruling. Indigenous heritage. Lessons include the history of the Lenape and Nanticoke tribes, who lived in the region for thousands of years before European arrival. Would you like to explore specific historic sites mentioned in these lessons, such as the first state national historic park? Nah. I was just trying to do some social studies. Well, I mean, I think today I'd probably have social studies, but I don't have school this week. So, this is my social studies class right now. So, I'm doing some social studies work right now. So, this is my social studies class. Yeah, this is my social studies work. Since I don't have school this week. Yeah, since I don't have school this week, this is my social studies class. Yeah, all right, all right, in a social studies class, Newark, Delaware is studied as a historic colonial era town, the home of the University of Delaware, founded in 1743, and the site of the Revolutionary Wars. Only Delaware battle at Cooch's Bridge in 1777. Students explore its evolution from a 1680s agricultural hamlet to a modern center for industry and education. All right. Key topics regarding Newark, Delaware include Revolutionary War history, the Battle of Cooch's Bridge, and the significance of Deer Park Tavern, formerly St. Patrick's Inn, which likely hosted George Washington. Geographic. I'm trying to think about how to spell this. Geographic. Significance. Situated near Iron Hill, the town was influenced by early Native American trails and its position between the Chesapeake Bay and Philadelphia. Educational development. The University of Delaware moved to Newark in 1765, shaping the city's growth, culture, and economy, industry, and commerce. Historical and modern industries, including vulcanized fiber, automobile assembly, and agriculture, civics, and infrastructure. The city's development as the third largest in Delaware, featuring a notable historic Main Street and extensive parklands. Social studies curricula often highlight Newark's role in regional histories and its development as a community hub in the first state. All right, let's see what we have, and let's check AI mode. All right, in a Newark social studies class, you'll dive into how a small colonial crossroads transformed into a bustling university city. Here are the highlights. 1. Revolutionary War significance. The first flag mystery. Newark is home to Cooch's Bridge, the site of the only significant Revolutionary War battle fought on Delaware soil in 1777. Local tradition holds this was the first time the Stars and Stripes was ever flown in battle. Declaration connections. 3 signers of the Declaration of Independence, George Reed, Thomas McCain, and James Smith, were graduates of the Newark Academy. Geography and the wedge. Tri-state living. You might learn about the wedge, a unique piece of land less than a mile from Newark where Delaware, Maryland, and Pennsylvania meet. Industrial roots. Early settlers, Scots, Irish, and Welsh, choose this spot because the White Clay Creek provided enough power for grist and sawmills. Newark also housed the Curtis paper mill, which was the oldest paper mill in the U.S. until 1997. Right. The University City Shift. Education as economy. A major theme is how the University of Delaware, founded in 1743, grew to become the city's largest landowner and primary economic driver. Civil rights and progress. You'll study the city's evolution from a segregated town to a diverse modern hub, including its role in the Underground Railroad. Local government and civics. Charter history. Newark officially became a town in 1758 with a charter from King George II. City management. Unlike many cities with a strong mayor, Newark uses a council-manager form of government, which you would analyze in a civics and economics class. 5. Modern industry and culture. The Chrysler era. For over 50 years, the Chrysler Newark Assembly Plant was a cornerstone of the local economy. A fun trivia fact often shared is that Bob Marley uh briefly briefly worked there in the 1960s. Would you like to find some primarily sources or historic maps of Newark, Delaware from the 1700s to use for our project? Nah, I was just doing some social studies work at my house since I don't have school today. Yeah, I might do a part 2 tomorrow. But yeah, this was all about Delaware, and I even named some of the I did some research, and I did a little bit of social studies about I did some social studies work about some places in Delaware, and I did some research. And I even showed you guys a piece of paper with some neighborhoods that are located within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware that I dislike and that I would not prefer to live in. Yeah. All of these neighborhoods that are on this paper, these are all some neighborhoods that are located within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware that I dislike and that I would not prefer to live in. So, I would not prefer to live in Brandywine Village, Baynard Village, Northwest Wilmington, Triangle Neighborhood, Midtown Brandywine, Quaker Hill, Compton Village, Compton Village, Eastside, Hilltop, The Flats, Little Italy, Trolley Square, 40 Acres, Cool Spring, Trinity Vicinity, South Bridge, Hedgeville, Browntown, Alban Park, Riverfront, and Union Park Gardens. Yeah, these are all some neighborhoods that are located within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware that I would not prefer to live in and that I do not like. Alright guys, I just did some research and I showed you guys some neighborhoods that are located within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware that I dislike and that I would not prefer to live in. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the blog. I guess I'm going to end the blog there. Alright, goodbye.